The Mets now have lost 5 games in a row, and their divisional lead is down to just 1, with one more to play on Thursday night against the Atlanta Braves. And boy, do they need a victory. You're watching Mets Daily. Subscribe below. Click that subscribe button. Click that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button. And also click join below and become a Mets Daily Insider for just $4.99 a month, $5 a month. Cheaper than a cup of coffee, cheaper than a 20-piece chicken nugget. It's a cheap, cheap price. So pay that $5 for us and become an insider, and you'll get an exclusive video on the weekend. You'll get a watch party every week, and next month we'll also start giveaways. I'll be giving away my personal stuff. I'll get bobbleheads, tickets. So come on down to the Mets Daily Insider family and join us. Well, the Mets have not made us feel like family in the last 5 days, losing 5 in a row, and Chris Sale just completely shut him out. I mean, it was almost unwatchable. 8 2/3. You know, if his pitch count wasn't high, he would have had a complete game. Brutal. Just a brutal game, brutal effort. Paul Blackburn, they were out from the first pitch. It felt like a punt kind of game. When you saw the pitching matchup on my TikTok live pregame show, I guaranteed the Mets aren't winning. I said 5-3. I said Acuna and Olsen homer. Well, I had the homers right. I had the Braves runs right. The Mets just decided not to show up. And even mental mistakes, like Luis Torrens, who after the game said he knew as soon as he did it, it was a problem. Why are you touching the ball with your mask? I didn't know that was a rule. I think it's one of the dumbest rules I've ever heard. But if you knew it, why the hell did you do it? So the Mets can't catch a break when it comes to catcher. You know, they can't catch, pun intended, a break. And, you know, I talked about it yesterday. They got to start looking outside this organization for catching help. As much as I like Luis Torrens, again, he is a backup catcher. And, you know, the Mets need help. They have got to get help. This is a great baseball team that has a lot of injuries right now, that is battling adversity, but they have got to get help. And this is going to be on David Stearns here to try to end this losing and to get this team to the promised land. And, you know, my biggest concern here is the rotation. As we get into rotation concerns, we just found out, we recorded, and then we found out the news for Friday, so we re-recorded. So this is part 2 this morning here on a Thursday, June 19th. Justin Hagenman is expected to make the start on Friday. I hate this decision by the Mets. No disrespect to Justin Hagenman, but I think this is a chump move by the Mets. They have got to give McLean a shot. Frankie Montas has been dreadful in rehab, and his rehab window is closed. He might make a start next week, and maybe if he implodes, maybe then they go to McLean. But you're talking about a team that's on a 5-game losing streak. Fans are panicking. And, I mean, Justin Hagenman did a serviceable job in Minnesota. He's not like a bum. But, like, can we see the future? Can we see McLean? McLean has got a 2 ERA. Maybe he's the guy that fills in. I just don't get it. Frankie Montas, in his rehab, by the way, you couldn't have done much worse than Frankie Montas did in his rehab. He has been dreadful. A 13.19 ERA over 4 starts, 26 hits, 8 home runs, 8 strikeouts, a whip of 2.23. Frankie Montas he's put up historically bad rehab numbers in this 30-day window. That's starting to make you think, do we even have him up? Like, the only way he could get more rehab starts if them and Major League Baseball say he's not fully healthy and there's like a new injury. But he has said he's felt fine, which he almost should lie and say he doesn't feel fine. Because now that he feels fine, the Mets kind of have nothing else they could do. But 4 innings, 5 runs, 3 2/3, 3 runs, an inning and 2/3, 8 runs, 5 innings, 5 runs. He's been unwatchable in AAA, and I don't know if usually I'm like, I don't read into AAA numbers, but when you're consistently that bad start after start, like you would have liked to see 1 promising start. He had 0 promising starts. So we'll see Hagenman for the spot start tomorrow in Philly, which is very underwhelming. I'm going to be there. I would have been very excited to see Nolan McLean's debut. Maybe the Mets think, hey, we'll figure out McLean next week or the week after. But I think they need a spark, and right now it's got to be internal because you're not going to get trade for a starting pitcher in June. But when you look at this starting pitching list, look at this list. This was once a 8-man deep rotation, and now it's Senga out till sometime in late July, maybe August. Manaea likely back early July if rehab goes all okay. And my God, do they need Sean Manaea healthy and good? Montas returning soon but sucks, and he's going to be the Mets pitching version of Jed Lowry, it's looking like. Remember, the Mets signed a 2-year deal for Jed Lowry. He didn't have one hit. He was hurt the whole time, never played. Played for like a week, didn't get a hit. Tyler McGill's out till at the least August, but my gut tells me we don't see McGill start again this season. And Paul Blackburn's just not good. So, basically you got 5 nothings on the left side. Then you have Peterson, Holmes, Canning, and Peterson, Holmes have been great. Canning's been up and down. And that's it. I mean, that's it. You throw Hageman on the list. You have Tidwell, and hopefully we see McLean at some point. But that is it. And that is not ideal at all. So Hageman will be the bulk pitcher tomorrow. He was 3 1/3 a run and 4 strikeouts in Minnesota earlier this year. He's been solid his last 2 outings in AAA, 9 1/3, 2 runs, 12 strikeouts. So maybe Hageman's the right call for now, but I would like to see McLean here. But, this team needs help. A name that I thought about today as I was just looking through the standings and who might be available. Eovaldi and Maile are hurt in Texas, so I don't know about them. But how about an old friend? How about Seth Lugo? The Royals are still, everyone's in the race in the American League. But if the Royals do intend to sell off, Seth Lugo has a player option for $15 million next year. He has the chance to opt out and get a new deal. He's having a good year where he might do that. If the Royals think, hey, he's going to opt out, we're probably not going to have him next season. Let's get some prospects for him. Who knows Seth Lugo better than the Mets? Now, listen, he may not want to come here. He may be like a DeGrom who doesn't like New York, doesn't want to come here. I haven't heard an indication of that from him, where DeGrom, we knew he didn't like the politics in New York. He didn't like what was going on here. I don't know that about Seth Lugo. But, man, Seth Lugo's having a solid season. If I'm the Mets, I'm calling the Royals before the deadline and seeing what it would take to get Seth Lugo. Because if you're talking about rotation with Senga, Manaea, Lugo, Peterson, Holmes, I feel a lot more good about the Mets. So that was one name I thought about today, Seth Lugo. So as it gets closer, we'll maybe go down that path and discuss, hey, does Seth Lugo make sense? But that's when I talk about this team, I think the offense is going to be okay. They got Swaggy V coming back. Hopefully he's good again. Beatty might go to the IL now. They're saying there is a chance of that groin injury. He goes to the IL. So, yet another Mets injury. But I think with the weather warming up, again, it's going to be 90s next week, all week. This weekend, I think balls are going to be flying out of the park. Like, summer is now officially here. We got through this rain, muggy window. Now it's going to be muggy and hot. But that means balls will fly out of the park. I think the Mets will be fine, but they have got to figure out this rotation because it is not pretty. It would be pretty if they got Dick Lovelady. And one of the great names in sports, Richard Lovelady, is available. So we talked about Lugo. How about Lovelady for the bullpen, a lefty who just opted out of his Twins deal in the minor leagues. Now, Lovelady doesn't have the greatest numbers in the major leagues for his career, but he has been remarkable this year in AAA. I'm actually surprised. The Twins, who a guy I thought the Mets should have got, Danny Coulomb with a 0 ERA. They have a couple lefties, so I guess they have no room for Lovelady. But a 1.31 ERA for Lovelady, 20 2/3, 3 earned runs. He has been magnificent for AAA Twins. I'm the Mets. This is a Stern special. You picked up Garza, you picked up Merriweather from the Cubs. Pick up Lovelady. This is a guy you could throw right in the bullpen, take him to the pitching lab. You could really use another lefty in this pen. Obviously, we talked about it. You're going to get Raley back, but Raley's still a month away. Raley had a scoreless inning in his rehab outing the other day, which is a good sign. I imagine he'll pitch again today or tomorrow, and he'll probably go that full month. But you're still a month away, so why not get Lovelady here? Have Richard Lovelady, one of the greatest names in sports, on the New York Mets. So, Stearns, I'm helping you out here, bro. If you need me as assistant GM, I got you. Put me in coach. Put me in this front office. Need a job. So I'll be part of the Mets front office. But sign Lovelady and explore Lugo, when the time comes. It's too early. Royals are still in it. That division sucks right now. So they're very much in the playoff race. But, if Lugo is available, I consider him because I don't really trust Blackburn. And there's a lot of injuries going on. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Radio. We'll be there this weekend, Friday and Sunday at Citizens Bank Park. Mets Philly. Smash that thumbs up on this video. Comment in the video. We'll be reading your comments. Try to do every day. Sometimes some of the comments aren't good enough to read. So give some good comments, and we will read them on the show. I'll read one from Shikamu Kyoto. Good takes. Terens unfortunately had a freak bad game in Atlanta, but I still think you're right. Alvey is hurting us. Yeah, I mean, like another guy the Mets have to add. Gotta add catching help. I'd explore Adley Rutschman with the Orioles. I'd see who else is out there. Furman on the Royals. Maybe you could get Lugo and Furman. You're not going to get Salvador Perez, but Furman, their backup, has been solid this year. So Furman and Lugo, 2 names from the Royals to keep an eye on. But this team needs catching help. They don't have it in the organization. Just like they don't have much pitching right now. And that's why we want to see McClain. Give McClain his freaking shot. But we'll see here. Again, the option with Montas, they could evaluate and say he's still hurt and he'll open up a new rehab window, but that's unlikely. The reality is he's probably going to be on the Mets next week and might make a start against the Braves. And if he implodes, maybe they just move him to the bullpen. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on a happy Friday. Hopefully it's happy and the Mets avoid getting swept in Atlanta. Please just win a game. Let's go Mets. Thanks for watching. Mets Daily.